You really don't have to spend a lot of money on equipment or props to exercise at home with scoliosis. In this video, I will show you which ones are worth investing in and which ones you probably already have at home. A lot of the props that we use in yoga and Pilates can actually be really easily replaced by something you can find at home. For example, I've got this yoga belt here, which is great, especially for some stretching. We often use it for leg stretches, for example. So very easily you could just use a scarf or you could just use a belt from your bathrobe. Now the other thing that everybody can find at home are some cushions and some blankets, which are great, especially for our restorative yoga poses. Now, having said this, if you want to start to practice a little bit more and want a little bit more support, I would highly recommend that you get yourself a bolster. And this is really one of the props that I would say that are worth investing in if you are gonna have a daily or even 3 times weekly practice at home. These are really, really good, and they can have different fillings inside. Doesn't matter too much. This one has got cotton inside, but you can have buckwheat as well and different fillings. It doesn't really matter, but they are really versatile, and there's a lot of yoga, especially restorative poses, that we can do with these. Now for our derotation practice, and my Shine members will know this, of course, we can use things like hand towels, small hand towels. We can use eye pillows like this. I actually made this one myself. So it just has a little bit of rice filling inside. And these ones are really, really good to get that derotation from the scoliosis. Now let's talk about our Pilates practice. So in Pilates, we like to use some light weights. So you could get yourself some small dumbbells if you don't have them already. But if you don't want to spend any money, just find some cans of beans or chickpeas or anything that you've got at home. Small water bottles work as well. Now, if we're thinking about building up strength, resistance bands are really handy, and I haven't found a great replacement. Some people have said you could use a pair of tights or maybe some leggings, but I still feel like investing in a resistance band is a really, really good idea, and they are really, really not expensive at all. The other thing that we sometimes use in our Pilates practice is a ball like this one, a Pilates ball, which is great for our stability practice. Again, you could also use a cushion for some of these, but some of the exercises that we do, it's just easier with this ball, which again is a very inexpensive prop that you can get. And I've actually made a video very recently about traveling, and it can come in really handy. So make sure to check this out afterwards. Now, yoga blocks or bricks are used very, very much in yoga practice, especially. Sometimes we use them also in Pilates. Again, they are not very expensive, but they can also easily be replaced by a couple of books, for example, that everybody should have at home. Lastly, we need to talk about elongation, which is one of the most important things for scoliosis, obviously, to incorporate into your daily practice. And for elongation, you can simply use a chair, which again is something that everybody has at home. A chair can be great as well for any of our seated exercises if you feel like not sitting on the floor, if you've got issues with your knees, for example. A chair is a wonderful prop that you can use. Now, the next best thing for elongation is one of these bars here. So that was the first kind of the next step up that I invested in for my elongation. And this is simply a pull-up bar that you can put into a door frame. We're not hanging fully on them, so they are absolutely safe. You will always have your feet on the ground. Again, they are not very expensive to get, and obviously you can take them to different places as well. Now for me, in the end, the pull-up bar didn't work so well because I've got children at home and they just started to hang on them like little monkeys. And I decided that for me personally, it's best to have this dedicated yoga and Pilates space. So I actually invested in one of these wall ladders, which are brilliant for elongation, strengthening, and there's so many different things that we can do with them, but it's just that it's in one place and I've got it here in my practice space. Now, what are the most important ones out of these? If you are a beginner, if you've just started your practice, I would say use what you've got around the house. Maybe get a couple of blocks, and then maybe get yourself a resistance band, and that will already be great for your practice. If you're then getting more serious and if you enjoy your restorative practice, make sure you get yourself one of these. One of the easiest and most versatile props is actually a chair, which you can find easily at home and even when you're traveling. Check out this video, which is a 15-minute beginners-friendly Pilates video using a chair and some light weights. And obviously you know now what you can use instead if you don't have any weights at home.